Well, hello YouTubers. This is my 2003 Dodge Caravan with a 2.4 engine. I got a little issue. I'm going to try to fix it today. I pretty much know what's wrong with it, and I've seen a lot of posts and a lot of forums. People giving the wrong information and causing people to spend unnecessary money and so forth to fix this issue. This particular van has 198,000 miles on it. It runs great. I've rebuilt the engine and transmission, and just about done everything I could to it to make it really a nice van, and it's also very clean. I mean, it's almost showroom condition on the inside. Now, the problem I have with this is when I go to start it and turn the AC on, hit the AC button, the car shakes, and it sounds like something outside is going on. It sounds like somebody took a hammer and hit the front of the car. And also when I'm going about 55, 60, I have this constant whine. It sounds like it's coming from the air conditioning compressor or even a power steering unit. It's misleading. It will make you pull your hair out, and you will be like, what is going on? You'll replace all that stuff, and you'll still have the noise. Well, I will show you what's going on. Let me go ahead and start it. I'm going to go ahead and hit the AC. Actually does it when I put it in gear and go take off. Now I'm going to be quiet and you can hear it. You hear that? Well, what's going on out there is the belt tensioner. It is bad. What happens is that belt tensioner is supposed to hold a certain amount of pressure on that belt, and when you get a kick that on, that belt tensioner pulley is bouncing up and down. It's oscillating, and it's causing an issue. So we're going to take this out around back, and we're going to put it up on ramps, and we're going to change this and fix it today. So hopefully this will help save you guys a lot of money, a lot of headache. Like I said, don't go replacing unnecessary parts. This is only about a $30 part, and lucky for me, I've got a couple brand new ones out back I've kept because I know they have issues with these, and we'll go ahead and we'll replace this today, and I'll show you how simple it is, and you will be on your way, and you'll be like, all right, this is awesome. All right, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and start fixing it. Okay, boys and girls, I got the old van jacked up, and I'm ready to go ahead and swap this around. Now, I told you earlier that I said I had a tensioner in the garage that would work. Well, I did not. This is off of a 3.3 and a 3.0. You can see this one has a stud on the back, so this did not work. So I had to go to the parts store and buy one, and I got this one for $31, and you can see the difference here. This one just has a hole in it for the nut, the bolt to go through. So there are subtle differences between the 3.3, 3.0, and the 2.4, just so you know. And before you ask me the torque specs, don't worry about it. These are self-adjusting. Don't ask me about torque specs, okay? People, just listen. Anyway, so I'm going to put the old one back. And by the way, to get this for $31, I actually had to spend $50, and I had a $20 coupon off, and I bought me some oil treatment. And I always put a little bit of this in an engine. Never has let me down. It makes a big difference, especially in the winter. It keeps it from the engine from starting up dry, and it saves your valves and your bearings and so forth. All right, so what I've done, I've taken off the little shield that bolts right here. It's just a little piece of plastic. There's one nut, 10mm bolt right there, and a couple little plastic tabs you just pop off, and this whole thing comes off. And there are my bolts and little tabs. And I went on ahead and just took the air cleaner off. It's sitting there. It's real easy to do because it makes it easy. You can see that pulley bolt right there, tensioner bolt. It's real easy to get to, so I'm probably just going to break it loose up here. It's a 15mm socket. I'll just put a socket and it'll break it loose. Now my engine's still a little hot, so I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. But I took the bottom cover off there just to be able to get down here and look up in there here. And I wanted to show you how weak this tensioner is. Take my hand and pull on this belt. See it moving? Ain't supposed to be moving that easy. I mean, I'm barely pushing on that belt. That thing's bouncing around. So that's more than likely was my issue. So we're going to go ahead and change this bolt out. Now to get this belt off, if I hold the camera, you'll see a little square peg, a little hole right there. You put your socket in there, which I have right here. And when you shove this up in there, it's a 1/4 inch drive like that. you just move it back like this, and see that belt, whole thing. Wow, that thing's really loose. That's how I take the belt off. You just slip that belt off, and you are good. And the power steering belt is in the back. It's behind all this. You do not have to worry about that power steering belt, but it's a good idea to check it. Go back here and put your hand on it. Make sure it's tight, which I know mine is. And there are 3 bolts up there if you have to tighten this up. I made a video on how to do that, so you might want to search that if you have to tighten up your power steering belt. Alright, so I'm going to let this cool down here for a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and I'll pop this belt off, and we'll take this old serpentine pulley off and unit and replace it with the new one. Okay, I've just about got this bolt out. I'm going to hold the camera, and I'm going to take my hand here and kind of twist that nut. I'm going to keep the nut, the bolt in my hand. I'm just going to let this tensioner fall on the ground at this point as I finish up here. It's a pretty long bolt, so actually I just pull it straight up. You got to remember the reservoir is in the way, so to get this bolt out, actually what I did was do it from the bottom of the car. I just laid down here at the bottom and held my wrench. I thought I could get a socket up there, but a socket won't fit in there. I used a 15 wrench. Just used the end of it and broke the bolt loose, and you can see there's where it goes. And here is the old one, and here is the new one. Basically identical, if you want to check that. Hopefully my camera's still in focus, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stick this together, and the next video, I'm not going to show you how to put it together, but the next video clip that I do, it'll be all together, and we'll start it, and we'll turn the AC on and see if it makes any more noise, and hopefully that'll be it. So go ahead and finish this up. It's pretty hot out here today, about 95 degrees, so get out of the sun as quick as I can, but we'll go ahead and stick this on, and we'll see how everything turned out here. And also, by the way, this tensioner, it has a lot of work to do. You got to remember, it's got your air conditioning, your power steering. Actually, you got your air conditioning and your alternator that has to keep tight. So you need to keep that tight, very tight, for that AC to even work. That belt's got to be pretty tight around that pulley. So it's always good to check that first before you go ripping off your alternator and your power steering and replacing your AC compressor. I've even seen people do that because of this noise, and it's just a $30 tensioner that's causing the issue. All right, let me go ahead and finish up, and we'll check it out and see how the end result worked out.